Hi, welcome to the channel. Today's video we're going to review the backpack that I'm wearing now, which is the OEX Vallo 5060. It's a budget backpack, but I think it offers a lot of value, a lot of features and good performance for the money. So we're going to take it onto a field, I'm going to show you around the bag, and I'm going to empty it out to show you what it can fit. So I've packed into the bag a comfortable 3-season wild camping setup with all the bells and whistles that you would need out and about. The only thing I've not packed is food. So you'll be able to see exactly what you can fit into the bag, and I'll tell you that there's still some space left over because this bag has a lot of straps, so you can hang things from pretty much anywhere and strap things onto pretty much anywhere. So we'll get a bit further on, we'll find a place to empty the bag out. I will say, prior to getting the bag in front of the camera and showing you around it, is that when I last checked a few weeks ago on the pricing of this bag, it wasn't in stock in Millet, Blacks or Go Outdoors, because they're all the same kind of parent company now, all owned by the same people. So I'm not sure if that means it's a temporary stock issue or whether they've stopped manufacturing and selling it. But I'm here to say the virtues of this bag as a used buy, because you will find this bag frequently on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree. It's almost always for sale somewhere, and it's almost always for sale very cheaply. So I picked mine up brand new on Facebook Marketplace, still with tags, obviously brand new condition for 25 quid, and you regularly see them go for £25 or below through those various selling sites. So as a first time bag, used or even new like mine, definitely look for them second hand, because they are a really good deal. So they might not be available brand new, who knows, but I think they will always be on the used market for really good prices, so they make a really great buy. Here is the bag. First thing you notice about it, it's quite a fetching shade of red. So you might absolutely love that colour, you might be indifferent, or you might absolutely hate it. As far as I'm aware, it never came in a different colour. This is what it is. So you've got a darkish kind of two-tone red material on the bag, and you've got these really quite bright straps. And one of the things you will notice about this bag, which I definitely did when I first got it, was just the sheer amount of straps everywhere on the bag. I was just wondering why it had so many different strap options. But actually, having used the bag for a good few months now, for various different things, I really like the amount of straps in it. I think that's a definite positive, especially for the budget wild camper, because it gives you a lot of options to carry stuff on the outside of the bag. So what I've done today is I've packed a fairly luxurious 3-season setup into the bag, which means some of the items like the sleeping bag and stuff are quite bulky, just to show you what we can get in there, because I figured people looking at budget bags are not going to want to see people loading it out with really expensive, tiny, lightweight stuff, because it's not practical. If you're going to be going for a budget bag, likelihood is you're going to have a budget tent, budget sleeping bag, and it's going to be quite bulky. And that's where this bag excels, because you can put so much stuff on it. So the bag is reasonably full. I didn't pack it particularly carefully. I just chucked stuff in the bag to get it out here. There's still space underneath the hood. There's still space here. And you'll see that there's really significantly long adjustable straps on top as well. So you could easily put something extra on here. So if you wanted to make this into a 4-season setup, you could add an additional sleep mat along the top here to give it some extra R rating and warmth and stuff. So you really do have a lot of options with this bag. The other option is I've bought cook gear with me, but I've not bought any food. So if you're going to bring a fair amount of food and you're going to consume most of it on the camp, you could easily put a little dry bag here or even a carry bag and strap that onto the top, because you're going to be eating that food when you're out, and on the way back you'd have an empty lid. So loads of options on the bag. There's a decent sized front pocket, which I've got my tent pegs and stuff in. There's a pocket at the rear here, which is what you'd expect on most lids on bags. And in there you can put, you know, your grab items like your waterproofs or thermal layers, hats, gloves and stuff, decent sized pocket. And there is one on the inside of that as well. So plenty of options there. It looks as if you can take the lid off completely because it's strapped on at the back here, so it looks like you lift that off, unclip it and remove it completely. again adds a bit more flexibility. And there is yet another strap here which I didn't even affix this time, which goes up over the top just to provide some extra security there. And I guess you could even put stuff underneath this strap as well if you really wanted to. So there's just a whole host of straps. You see I've got the tent on the outside of the bag just to save room on the inside. Something I think again a lot of budget campers will need to do because you haven't got small enough gear to go into the bag itself. And again, there's plenty of adjustment to the straps here, and there is kind of space underneath where you could actually put things like a sit mat. You could tuck that underneath there as well because it's kind of a double strap system, so that's really handy. And also right at the bottom there you do have a Velcro and a zip which will release the integrated rain cover. So again, for the kind of budget you'll pay for this bag used, as long as it's got its original rain cover, it's really good value for money because the rain cover does go right up over the top, sits nicely, and adds an extra layer of protection in the rain. Because you can't rely on the bag being waterproof itself. The bag is most likely just to be showerproof to repel a bit of moisture, but you want to pull the rain cover over if you want to secure your gear properly. For storing snacks, other valuables and bits and pieces, it's got two hip belt pockets as well, which are a decent size, and they're kind of part material, part mesh. So one on each side, which is good. The hip belt's fully adjustable. The back is fully adjustable as well. It's got the OEX Vari adjust system as well, padded and stuff. Obviously not brilliantly ventilated, so not an ideal bag for summer when it's really hot, because this is going to get very hot and sweaty. But in free season conditions it's absolutely fine and will provide you with a bit of extra warmth. So yeah, all fully adjustable. Got your normal strap to pick it up by as well. It's got a top clip as well for a bit of extra security, and it's got a couple of elasticated things on the side which you can hang stuff from as well, along with plenty of points here to hang carabiners off on each side as well. And obviously you can adjust this up and down using the same clips, but the ones you're not using, you can happily put carabiners on and hang little things from as well. So I really like that. Sometimes I hang my drink bottle from the front. Sometimes I'll hang my action camera and a little mini tripod off the front as well, just so it's easy to grab. So absolutely tons of different options, fully adjustable. So let's get into the bag and actually show you what I've managed to pack into it. So I've got a drinks bottle on one side, and on the other side, which is empty now, I've got my biggest tripod, which is currently being used to hold the camera, so I can't show you what that is, but it is a Manfrotto B3 video thing. So it's like 1.8 kilos, big, bulky and heavy. Just managed to squeeze it into the elasticated stretchy pocket. So that's good, because I don't think you'd be taking anything bigger than that out on a on a camp. Well, obviously most people wouldn't be taking nearly 2 kilos of tripod on a camping trip anyway, just because I'm doing this filming. So let's get the tent off. So again, I will pop a link up on screen now to the overview of this tent. Really big, really spacious, proper two-man tent. So it's a little bit bulkier than the average tent you'd take, certainly if you're solo camping. But again, if you're taking this kind of bag and you're going to put it on the outside anyway, you may as well go for a big luxurious tent, so I thought I would. On the top pocket, I have got a couple of sizable dry bags, just because if I was going to be packing this bag in the rain, I would use one dry bag in the bottom section of the bag where I put all my tent to put my sleeping gear, and I put another dry bag in the top of the bag where I'd put the rest of my gear, just for some extra security. So you've got the waterproof cover to put over, but you've also got your stuff in a couple of big dry bags. I've got my water filter and water bag, and for today I've got a little pocket blanket so I can put this out and chuck my gear in it to keep it off the very wet grass, because it's been extremely wet here in Wales the last couple of weeks. So I'm just hoping it doesn't actually rain today. On the front pocket, I've got my guy lines for the tent. So these are my Nordis ones, which I take off some of my tents and just put on because they're on little carabiners. I've got plenty of tent pegs, and I've got some titanium stakes for the guys, or if I'm having trouble getting a tent peg in on rocky ground. And there's still a bit more space in that pocket for other bits and pieces. So if we take the top lid off, and I would say as well, the top thing's got a little clip so you can put car keys and stuff on it to keep them safe. The lid's also got an internal pocket as well, so you can put a few bits and pieces in there to keep them safe as well. Very handy. So I've really gone all out with gear here. So we've got a RAB waterproof jacket, my OEX ultralight down jacket as well, so another layer of warmth. We've got my MSR Pocket Rocket 2 solo cook set, the gas canister, all the other stuff's inside there that you need, so it's a complete cooking set. My red bag of stuff. In here, again, it's a grab bag I use so that I don't forget stuff. Is absolutely tons of stuff. There is deodorant, mouthwash, toothpaste, toothbrush, all that kind of stuff. A complete toilet bag, so you've got your lightweight trowel, wipes, all sorts of different stuff in there. Another bag of stuff, so some painkillers, ear defenders, so if it's really noisy and you want to sleep, a waterproof lighter, some sun cream. Not that you need that on a free season thing, but it is there. Decent sized power bank, proper chunky one there. First aid kit, head torch, anything else in box or tricks. Another spare lighter, some rubbish from a previous camp, my black diamond little tent lamp, and I think that's it for that bag. So again, a really handy grab bag to have because it's got everything you need in there. So here I've got thermal top, thermal leggings, spare pair of socks. So really have got everything you need to be safe and warm on a camp. Sleeping bag, I've got a free season Unigear Camphy Trail -1, which ironically is not actually -1. It's comfort rated at 1 degrees with the limit being about -5. Nice, big, comfortable sleeping bag, this one. Plenty warm enough on the recent camp I took it out on. So again, the kind of bulk you'd be looking at for a free season bag at this price range. And that just leaves the bottom pocket, which I said before, I tend to use for kind of sleep stuff. So I've got a hat, gloves, a big towel. So if you get wet on the walk up, or you get any kind of leaks in the tent or anything, a nice big microfiber towel. Sea to Summit Premium 100% silk travel liner. Quite an expensive item. I got it on Facebook Marketplace for £5. So I got that just to protect the sleeping bag and give it an actual bit of warmth as well. My Nemo Philo pillow. Really good pillow, this one here. I completely recommend this. A little bit pricey, but extremely comfy. So a little bit heavier and bulky than some of the pillows you get, but I think the comfort is absolutely worth it. My Unigear Camphy Pre-Free Air Sleeping Pad. Our rating is only 2 degrees in this one, so a lot of you said that's not enough for free season, but it really depends on the free season nature of it. It's like, obviously it's nearly December here in Wales, and it has generally been really mild, so this one would have been absolutely fine. And if you wanted to make it a bit warmer, you would use that space on top of the bag to put like a thermal, just like a foil mat down, like one of those cheap multi mats and stuff. I have got one of those, which I used at the very start of this year, so you can happily put that on top, doesn't weigh anything, and extend the warmth rating of this a little bit. And then one of my favourite bits of gear, my Nordis Moss down slippers. So really, really good thing to wear in the tent, keep your feet nice and warm, and you can go outside the tent in them as well overnight if you need to go out to wee or anything. Really, really good bit of kit. So I think that is it for gear in this bag. The only thing that I haven't shown here and haven't packed is a bit of food. So obviously that's going to entirely depend on what kind of food you wanted to take. So you could happily have put in lots of different chunky bars and snacks into the hip pockets. You could have put a few more snacks into here. You could have stuffed a few more snacks on top. It didn't have the top completely full. And again, you did have a spare space on top to strap all sorts of different bits of food and stuff, whatever you wanted to take out. So hopefully that gives you a good indication of what you can fit into this bag. And yeah, I think it's a really cool little bag. Plenty more straps around here as well to tighten, adjust the bag. There is a double zip here, giving you access into the middle of the bag as well. Just another different option of getting into it. And again, 2 nice big side pockets. And yeah, all fully adjustable. So for the kind of price you pay used for this bag, look between £15 to £25 for a good example. Sometimes people buy this kind of budget bag for particular reasons, like maybe Duke of Edinburgh and stuff, and they never use it again, so you get them coming up for sale from that reason. People might want to be trying to wild camp or trying to do bigger hikes and have a bigger bag. They use it a few times, then they go and upgrade, so they go and sell this one on. And because generally backpacks are much cheaper to buy secondhand than almost any other item, there's just not a massive demand for how many is out there, so you can always pick up a really good bargain. So I would say this is quite a known quantity compared to other bags. I personally quite like the OEX brand, so yeah, I would say it's a really good bag to buy. And another thing you would have noticed when I got the thing out, the waterproof mat, it was absolutely covered in sand. So I've used this a load of times over the summer with the family on beach days, because of the amount of stuff you can put on, in and around the bag. So I've had obviously beach tent on the bottom, I've had chairs on the side, I've had 2 or 3 chairs on top sometimes with a big strap over the top. You can just fit so much gear on here. It's quite hilarious when you get to the beach and you just start unclipping stuff that's hanging off the back. You take it out and you set up your beach tent, you set up your 3 or 4 beach chairs and all the rest of it. It's really amazing what you can do. So a really flexible bag, £25 really well spent. There are only 2 things really, I guess, that I've not covered in the bag so far, and that is obviously the weight of the bag, which I'll put up on screen now. I did weigh this alongside my other backpacks, and for its size I found it was a little bit heavy. I certainly had bags of a similar size that were much lighter than this. So again, if you're at the budget end of camping, I don't think you should be too bothered by the weight, because there's probably other weight savings you can make cheaper than that. So you could probably upgrade your sleeping bags and other bits of gear and your tent and save more weight than you would from worrying about the 300 to 400 grams that this bag might be slightly heavier than some of its rivals in this kind of segment. So again, that's going to be personal choice on you as to whether you're happy with the weight of the bag. And the second thing is obviously the comfort of the bag when you're carrying it. So I can only go by my experience with the bag, where it has carried absolutely fine. I've not done any huge walks with it, but I've done a few mountain walks of 3 or 4 miles up, 3 or 4 miles down, and overnight camps, and it's been absolutely fine for that. But obviously, if you're going to plan on going on much longer hikes, using a couple of 2 or 3 day hikes and stuff, obviously I couldn't vouch for whether this bag is suitable or not. I think if you find one locally to you, use for sale, do ask if you can go and try it on. Do take a load of random camping gear, load it up, put it on, see if it can adjust to your body and stuff, because bag comfort really is going to depend on a lot of different factors. Some bags are going to be better designed and more comfortable in general. Some bags just might not suit your body style, so do try and give it a go. And that's also why you will find this kind of bag and loads of other bags for sale secondhand on various selling sites, because people do use them for a little while. They don't get on with them entirely, and they try something different that they find more comfortable, and then they'll sell the bag on. So that's why it's always good to look secondhand for backpacks, because there's some really, really good value items out there. So the OEX Vallo 5060, a really solid bag. I do like the colour. And also you can get quite a lot of red tents fairly cheap secondhand as well. So if you want to go for a whole matching kind of look setup, then it's a good bag for that. I think it's a really, really solid bag. I've mentioned that about 100 times now, so it's probably time to end the video. If you think I've missed anything, or if you've got any questions, just chuck them in the comments. I'll do my absolute best to answer them. If you want to see the bag in use, obviously I've linked to a recent camp I did using the bag. If you want to see more gear reviews like this, you want to see more wild camping using budget gear and secondhand gear and stuff, do subscribe to the channel, because I've got absolutely tons of videos on there and loads more coming up. So huge thanks for watching if you've made it this far. If you've enjoyed the video, please do drop me a like. And yeah, hit subscribe, and then you'll be sure to catch me in the next one. Thanks for watching.